and welcome to Realty Buzz, your daily real estate reckoner. This is Mansi Dave, and in this show we bring in all that's buzzing in the world of the most talked about sector, the real estate sector. Coming on to the top stories, CREDAI to start Skills Training Institute in Noida this month. The training will also help these people acquire greater skill, which will help them get improved remuneration for their jobs. Plagued with labor shortage, real estate developers are setting up a skills training institute in Noida, which will start operating this month. The institute will come under CREDAI Western Uttar Pradesh and will train trainers who will in turn train the masons, plumbers, bartenders, electricians, etc. through mobile vans at the construction site of CREDAI Western UP members. These mobile vans would conduct the training within the help of visuals, documentaries and practical training. The developers are not getting enough masons, plumbers, etc. who can do the job with fineness. People trained here will be able to solve the problems, said Manoj Gaur, President CREDAI NCR and Managing Director Gorsons India. The training will also help these people acquire greater skill, which will help them get improved remuneration for their jobs. CREDAI aims to have several such institutes in Western UP, Haryana and Punjab after the one in Noida is established. According to industry estimates, the construction industry in India is the second largest employer after agriculture and employs about 33 million people. Construction major L&T has set up a number of construction skills training institutes. Even Tata Housing aims to train 1 lakh youth in construction-related trades in association with NGOs and professional bodies. The next news says, builders struggle to sell houses in Surat. The situation has become worse now, as in 3 years. 2 lakh new units have come up in the city and 20% of them are vacant. There is a supply overhang of houses in the Diamond City with around 3 lakh flats lying vacant for a couple of years now. The census by the Registrar General and Census Commissioner India in 2011 found that the Diamond City topped the list in Gujarat with 2.86 lakh vacant residential units. The situation has become worse now, as in 3 years. 2 lakh new units have come up in the city and 20% of them are vacant. At least 20% of these 2 lakh units are owned by investors according to Jeevan Patel, Director of Planning, Surat Municipal Corporation. The national average of supply overhang in residential property market is 32 months, and in 2015, Surat is one of the top of the list with 2.86 lakh vacant residential units, following by 2.31 lakh in Ahmedabad. Mr. Nirav Kothari, Gujarat in charge of Jones Lang LaSalle, a leading real estate investment management firm, said, Surat is at the top of supply overhang chain and hence very few new projects are coming up and the market has gone into the buyer's mode. This will continue for another 30 months. The major reason for oversupply is the aggressive position taken by the large number of local realtors after announcement of Surat Diamond Bourse project at Khajur. CREDAI Surat President Mr. Verji said, when people take an aggressive position, market tends to react negatively. This is what is happening in Surat. Realtors in the city jumped on the SDB bandwagon even before the state government allotted land for the SDB. Majority of realtors announced projects around the project site, namely Altan, Vesu, Khajur and Sarasna. The liquidity crisis in the diamond and textile sector has compounded the problem for the real estate market. Only the end user are buying houses supported by housing loans, while investors have just vanished, said Dalpat Patel, a realtor in Varacha. Here we take a short break. We will be right back. Stay tuned. Currently, only the BMC Municipal Commissioner under the BMC Act has the right of way to lay pipelines through private property. The state government has no such right of way for the rest of the state. Welcome back after the break. The next news on board says state government wants to have right of way through private property. The bill will help the state government in going ahead with building infrastructure projects, avoiding the opposition to any land acquisition required. The state government has constituted a committee to prepare the draft right of way through private property bill. The bill will be the legal framework for providing the government subterranean and aerial rights through private property. The bill will help the state government in going ahead with building infrastructure projects, avoiding the opposition to any land acquisition required. For instance, the government could use provisions of the bill to build the underground Metro 3 project. Around 2 hectares of private property is to be acquired for this purpose. The government is also planning a slew of metro projects in the Mumbai metropolitan region, Pune and Nagpur. Chief Minister Mr. Devendra Fadnavis had announced that henceforth all metro projects will be underground. The government's right of way will curtail the right of the owner in future development of the land, and for such curtailment, the state would need to pay compensation. The committee headed by the Principal Secretary Manu Kumar Srivastava has been directed by the government to ensure the bill is placed before the Assembly during the winter session of the legislature. Currently, only the BMC Municipal Commissioner under the BMC Act has the right of way to lay pipelines through private property. The state government has no such right of way for the rest of the state. There are other laws such as the Petroleum and Minerals Acquisition of Right of Users in Land Act 1962, but this is only for a very specific purpose. Similarly, the Telegraph Act is again for a specific purpose and it cannot be used for all infrastructure projects, said a senior official. The draft bill will cover issues such as laying of transmission lines, underground metro underpasses, roads, severe lines, water pipelines, etc. Right to property is a constitutional right. There is no law at present that allows the government to pass through private property, and any such project through private property would be tantamount to trespass. Hence, the need for an act that gives the government these rights for public projects, said an official. The committee will decide on whether right of way through private property should be extended for public-private projects too. Explaining the curtailment of right of an individual, the office said if transmission lines were to be laid across fields in rural areas, then the vertical rights of the owner would be curtailed, for which she or he needs to be compensated. Similarly, an underground metro in urban areas would curtail the right of the owner of a house who in future may want to build a building but may not be able to do the necessary piling work on account of underground infrastructure. She or he too needs to be compensated. The draft bill will set the methodology of compensation to ensure it is uniform and transparent and not random, said an official. However, activists said that the government, instead of giving itself the right of way through the act, should negotiate with individual owners and buy the right. Coming on to the next story. 3 Gansoli land plots fetch rupees 221 crore for CIDCO in Navi Mumbai. All the 3 plots are for residential cum commercial purpose and were successfully bidded by Bhumika Enterprise developers, who procured 2 of the plots while the third was taken by Vulcan developers. 3 land tender plots of CIDCO in prime locality of Gansoli, Sector 8, sold to the highest bidders for rates as high as rupees 1.61 lakh per square meter, fetching the state agency a total revenue of rupees 221 crore through these sales. CIDCO spokesperson Mohan Ninave said, Gansoli is a relatively new and developing node of Navi Mumbai. So we are happy that the 3 plots of areas at measuring 4812 square meters each were sold for the high rate at rupees 1.61 lakh per square meter, rupees 1.54 lakh per square meter and rupees 1.45 lakh per square meters today. This also shows that the node is slowing, gaining popularity for investors. In May this year, a CIDCO land plot in Nerul node had fetched the record high bidding rate of rupees 2.82 lakh per square meter. Nerul is an older and much more developed node of the satellite city. The fact that even a smaller region like Gansoli is fetching high land rates shows that Navi Mumbai real estate is now much in demand. The state proposed bridge link over the sea between Vikhroli and Gansoli may be one of the factors why land is becoming expensive even here, said the Secretary of Navi Mumbai chapter of Maharashtra Chamber of Housing Industry, Manohar Shroff. He, however, reiterated that CIDCO, which is the largest landholder, must release more land in bulk sales in order to stabilize the real estate market in the satellite city. With this, we come to an end of this episode. You keep sending in your suggestions and queries at contact us at optimusmedia.com, or you can call us on 9192229288 or 180030005191. I'll be back with more news and buzz. Till then, keep watching Spin TV. Goodbye and take care.